And welcome back to another episode of Minute Sports. I'm here, Sam AC, along with Nolan O'Hara. No Blaine Weber today. We're going to hope for him next week. But let's just get right into it. And I'm going to take Blaine's spot today and do This Day in Sports. On May 30th, 1894, the man named Bobby Lowe, who played baseball, MLB baseball for the Boston Beaneaters, Chicago Cubs, Pittsburgh Pirates, and Detroit Tigers, was the first person in Major League history to hit 4 home runs in one game.
That's pretty cool.
You never hear about that. You'll hear about a three home run game a year.
Yeah.
That's about it. You don't hear about 4 anymore. But
no, that's
you know
ridiculous.
That's just a quick, not too much. All right, let's just get straight into it with, what are we going to start with today?
Terrific or terrible? We have a new segment today, and basically we're going to find out like little tidbits we've seen online, articles or some kind of headline, and we're going to discuss whether we think it's terrific or terrible. So, Sam, what is your first thing you had?
Okay, this report came in today that, that brand new football association that's starting up next year, the AAF, not the XFL, the AAF.
I think you've mentioned it
American
before.
Alliance Football. I'm sorry, I don't know, because let's face it, they're going to be out in a few years anyways. But they are interested in signing Colin Kaepernick to a deal. Is this terrific or terrible? And for who exactly? This is kind of a...
I'd say terrific for the league, terrible for Kaepernick.
Okay, which league will be terrific for? The NFL or the AAF?
The AAF.
Okay.
I mean, to get any kind of viewership, you're gonna have to get some kind of a big name. Colin Kaepernick's recognizable. He's good enough to play in the NFL when it comes down to it. I mean, everyone acknowledges that. He's maybe not good enough to be a starter, but certainly good enough to be a backup in the NFL. He'd definitely be a really good player against that less competition. It would be huge for the league. That would be a recognizable name. Everybody would know who he is. Could maybe get some viewership, although for Kaepernick it's not good because you're going from being a Super Bowl starting quarterback to a alternate football league quarterback. I mean, it's terrible for him, but it would be terrific for that league.
Is it better for him to go to the AAF than the CFL?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay.
Because like you said, I don't think it's going to last very long. I don't think in America there's not going to be any competing football leagues with the NFL. It's just not going to happen.
No, there simply won't be. Only a quick little spring league, but it won't not turn the billions the NFL is making nowadays.
Yeah.
All right. You got something for me now?
I do. So this was from May 7th. So this is going a while back here, but Tom Thibodeau parted with 3 staff members after this offseason.
How do we not hear about this?
Including one guy named Vince LaGarza. And this Vince LaGarza was apparently someone who worked very closely with Karl Anthony Towns. He was like a development coach. He won an award a couple years back when Towns was Rookie of the Year. His title was a player development assistant. But apparently him and Towns worked very closely together, and he is now gone. So, is this terrific or terrible?
This is a good one. You can't really say this is terrific, so I guess I would put terrible here. I wish I could pick the middle, but I think this segment, the point is you got to pick a side, and I'm gonna go with terrible here. He got him to Rookie of the Year. It'd been nice for him to keep developing. I guess it is terrible. Yes, he's a guy who's built Towns to where he is today, which is significantly better than he was a rookie. Obviously, I can only hope Thibodeau brings in someone better. Then maybe we could flip it to terrific, but for now, I would put this in the terrible category.
Yeah, I gotta say I agree with you here because, Towns he's getting better and better when it comes down to it. Every year he's developed, and you're firing this coach who apparently he had a close relationship with, and you hear all these reports that he's unhappy in Minnesota, and which are unsubstantiated, of course, but this certainly doesn't look good. And if that could be some of the tension, you're firing a coach he really likes. Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, maybe you can bring somebody in who's going to be really, working him hard and really develop him into the player we all know he can be. But until then, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't look good at all.
No, it doesn't. He needs to make some drastic changes though in order for this next season to begin. We all know that we need to get better than an 8 seed on the last day of the NBA regular season. It's kind of ridiculous. All right, I have another tidbit that came in. I believe it was this week. Might have been last week. I didn't check the dates where it is, but Brandon Marshall had signed with the Seattle Seahawks before Dez Bryant. Is this terrific or terrible?
For the NFL, for the Seahawks,
This is all
for Dez
you.
Bryant.
For who? Who specifically is this going to be terrific or terrible for?
Terrific for the Seahawks.
Okay.
Because Russell Wilson needs somebody else other than Doug Baldwin to throw the ball
Despite
at.
those kind of poor numbers last year from Brandon Marshall?
Yeah, there was nobody who was going to succeed. Odell was, he was hurt too. Like, everybody was hurt on that team, including Brandon Marshall. He was hurt a lot of the season.
Yep.
And Eli Manning had no offensive line. It was just a bad situation to be in for a wide receiver. So I think he can bounce back to kind of what we've seen out of him before. I think it'll be really good for, especially Russell Wilson's phenomenal. He's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL, and it's gonna be. I think he'll have a lot of success there in Seattle.
Him. I put him in an elite category.
But
personally,
it's probably terrible for Dez Bryant. Teams are looking at Brandon Marshall ahead of him. I mean,
his value is just
dropping.
So far down. He had offers with Baltimore,
but it was a multi-year deal, and he wants a 1-year prove-it kind of a deal, like Alshon Jeffrey got last year.
He's gonna get a prove-it deal. You know that.
So
someone's gonna he's gonna get lowballed so bad.
Yeah, terrible for Dez Bryant. Terrific for the Seahawks.
No good. All right, you got something for me?
Yes, I do. I kind of have two things here, but
I got one more after this too. This just came up.
All right, we'll each do two. We'll go three then.
Yep.
All right. So everybody's been kind of complaining because Cavs Warriors once again. It was predictable. I don't know why people didn't see it coming.
For a brief second, everyone thought, no way, this could
happen.
But games
it could
6
be the
and
Celtics
7,
and the Rockets.
6 and 7 in both series proved. Oh, not even.
No,
not
it
even
wasn't
close.
going to happen.
It's sad.
So Klay Thompson was responding to complaints about the Cavs Warriors. His response: the rest of the NBA has to get better. Terrific or terrible?
His response? I mean, goodness, what? I'm gonna have to say this is a terrific response. It's kind of hard to put your tongue on, isn't it? Because you see all these other teams starting to build up super teams. They're trying to. Timberwolves have 3 or 4 good players. You got Oklahoma City tried to do that.
Failed miserably.
Rockets are trying to do that. They almost succeeded. Almost. You got Boston, who really tried to do this. We all know that when they brought in all those players and let some of the
injuries killed them.
Of course, injuries literally killed them in the end.
Yeah, they definitely have a bright future there in Boston.
Yeah, they do. A lot of teams are trying to push for these. New Orleans Pelicans. There's another team. Failed. I mean, does the rest of the NBA have to get better? Yes, he's not wrong. NBA can't just be okay with this. And NBA teams, maybe the NBA can be okay with it. They're going to get a ton of money no matter what. This is a series that will get money.
Yeah.
Past 4 years, same exact thing. But do you see this in any other sport where it's the same 2 teams 4 years in a row?
No.
You ever seen this
anywhere? The NFL, it's such a salary cap league where it can't happen in the NFL. You can't build a super team in the NFL. You kind of see it in baseball where, like, the Yankees can buy themselves a good team, the Red Sox can buy themselves a good team, but that, again, is unpredictable enough where you won't see the same World Series year and again. You can see the same teams that are good, but only in the NBA where the best team always wins, it seems like. You never see a team that's worse than another team winning.
No.
It's very predictable. Except, I mean, you could say Cleveland's a worse team, but LeBron is just so much better than everybody else.
It's a 4th seed versus a 2 seed, but everyone predicted this. That's not good for the NBA.
It's too predictable.
Because basketball game is such a skill-based. You have to be good at basketball. You know what? In hockey, you'll get a lucky deflection every once in a while that'll win a game. Baseball, your pitcher could be really good or really bad, and your bats could be, you got football, which I could see a little more skill in football. You rarely ever see a wild card team in the playoffs go all the way. We've seen it before, obviously, but not as much where basketball, where it's so predictable. So I guess Klay Thompson, I would say terrific, because, there's got to be another team out there we all thought it would be Boston. Everyone thought it would be Boston. And in the West, we thought Houston might have had a chance. We still were firm believers that Golden State was the majority were thinking Golden State. And then other people were thinking Boston at the beginning of the season. We're going to have a new team in there. It's Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving down. A lot of other players hurt. So I guess I would give it a terrific at the end of my little ramble there. All right.
I see. Here's where I'm gonna say it's terrific on one end and terrible on the other.
That's kind of how this is gonna work.
To me, it's terrific as far as if he's talking about the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference needs to get better. LeBron has been there 8 straight years, and when it comes down, they need to get better. Nobody's been able to build a team good enough to beat LeBron in the last 8 years.
Nope.
So terrific from that standpoint. Terrible from the West standpoint. He had a 73-9 team. They're like, oh, hey, Kevin Durant, come over here.
That's not on the Warriors. That's on Kevin Durant, though. Come on.
It is on Kevin Durant. What I'm saying is, how are you supposed to get better enough to beat a team with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala?
Pay cut too just to be on that team. It's crazy.
So, wow, that's what it comes down to. So I don't like him saying that as far as that, because no other team can get that amount of talent. It's just not attainable. So
it isn't, no,
I don't like it from that end. But in the East, there's no reason why there shouldn't be some teams that LeBron shouldn't have gone down once in these last 8 years, especially this year when the Cavs are just a terrible team.
We were even thinking Game 7 versus the Pacers is about to happen, and then they just walked. Boston was a little more of a hiccup, but I think they could have been easily eliminated by the Pacers rather than Boston, personally.
Well, every team Cleveland's beat has been a better team overall. But
besides the 4 versus 5 matchup,
But
other than that, technically, yes, the other team should have been better.
But LeBron, this LeBron is just taking over, and I don't know, terrific and terrible on that one. You said you got one more thing.
I got one I just pulled up. It was kind of in my feed. I was like, oh, this would be a good one. Tremaine Brock, you remember him from the Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah.
Didn't get much effort at all. He got caught.
It's like he played special teams, I think.
Played 56 downs. We all thought he was a good pickup. It didn't work out. He's not a terrible player. It just didn't work out in the situation. So we cut him. Broncos have just signed him for 3 times his salary when he was with the Vikings. Is this terrific or terrible?
Terrible. Why?
Yeah, I don't know, because I can't believe the fact that corners are so much more value than safeties this year. Have you noticed that? There's so many good safeties who don't have jobs yet. It's been the battle of corners. Corners have been getting picked up. They're super valuable now. You notice that?
Yeah, it's been corner's the hardest position to play because of they don't allow any contact. So the teams are, I guess, going to overpay for him. But that's I don't understand why.
You didn't even know about this, did you?
I didn't. I never heard it. I haven't heard that yet.
Exactly. You don't hear about these deals that come out of nowhere, really.
I mean, yeah, Seattle gave him up for next to nothing, right?
Like a 6th round pick,
and
5th round.
And so we cut him this year or at the end of last year.
This year. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand. That doesn't seem to make any sense to me. But maybe they see something in him that we don't, or Zimmer didn't, or I don't know.
Yep. Okay. You got one more for me, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is kind of a funny quote here by Rihanna, and she kind of went off on Kevin Durant. She said, "Winning a championship after joining a 73-win team is like losing your virginity to a hooker." Terrific or terrible?
When was this? When was this tweeted?
I don't know. I saw it on Instagram here.
Good.
3 hours ago was posted by some account. Knick-Knack Sports.
Okay, it's funny, but this is terrible. Really? Are we gonna be taking sports advice from Rihanna now? No. All she does is stand up in the middle of games, clap her hands super loud, hardly knows what's going on. Terrible. Are you kidding? It's funny. All right, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I'll admit that. I got a little chuckle because, haha, all the Kevin Durant haters are probably like, yeah, go Rihanna, woohoo, super funny tweet. No, it's terrible. Come on.
I don't know. I think it's terrific.
It's not very original though. Come on.
I think it's terrific.
You could have made that tweet that much better.
That's what everybody's saying. It's Kevin Durant. He joined a 73-win team. These championships are meaningless.
Took a pay cut for a reason just to join that team.
Anyone
else in the NBA could do that too.
That's a meaningless championship. Meaningless. It's meaningless. Who couldn't win? People
Go
say
ahead.
He's got that over LeBron. No, he doesn't. If LeBron and Durant switched places, the Warriors would be breezing even easier, and the Cavs would have gotten eliminated in the first round.
This banana boat team could have happened. Why didn't it happen? Too much people want all their money. Doesn't this Warriors team? They just want to win. Why are people just hating them all of a sudden? Because they're so overpowered. Well, guess what? Get better.
All right, Klay Thompson. Exactly. Anyways, next we got some more NBA news here.
We do indeed.
Colangelo, the Sixers GM.
Okay, this is a very bizarre story that broke today. Yes?
Yeah.
I want to say it broke today on a Wednesday. The 76ers president was making... Apparently there's 4 linked fake Twitter accounts that are managed by the 76ers president going around ripping on Joel Embiid and Markelle Fultz, I believe.
And the former GM Sam Hinkie.
Yes, correct, Sam Hinkie, the Mr. Trust the Process. This is crazy. We heard about the Kevin Durant fake Twitter accounts, but and those are kind of
those are more like defending himself.
He was trying to defend himself. This is someone in the organization ripping their own team to shreds with fake Twitter accounts.
Again, it hasn't been verified though.
Technically, it has not, but they have a very strong case.
They're investigating it. They have enough. They have enough
evidence
to or enough suspicion to investigate him for this Twitter account.
Because he was revealing game plans, team strategies, inside operations as well in these tweets. There's a very strong case that, yes, this president is guilty. And if he is found guilty, I believe he should be fired on the spot. I mean, really, this is like, let's say, let's go with Rick Spielman from the Vikings. Let's say this is our GM, Rick Spielman, going around saying a bunch of crap about the Kirk Cousins signing, how we overpaid or something, talking crap about, Adrian Peterson, You wouldn't want that for your team, would you?
No.
If you were a 76ers fan, would you want your team president going off and saying a bunch of talking shit behind your team?
Yeah. Well, you know what doesn't make sense, though? Is why would he rip on Markelle Fultz? He drafted Markelle Fultz.
He's the president, so he did have a hand in drafting Markelle Fultz.
So
yes.
he drafted Markelle Fultz, and he's ripping... Like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, he should be. If this is true, he should be fired because
he should be fired right away on the spot.
Ripping the player you drafted, like, it's your fault. You could have had Jason Tatum. They could have had Jason Tatum, who would have fit in better. Why did you draft a point guard when Ben Simmons plays point guard? You could have had Jason Tatum, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid.
They need to trade up. That's kind of ridiculous.
You didn't need Markelle Fultz. You could have taken Jason Tatum's. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, he should be fired regardless.
He should be fired for just drafting Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, he should be fired for not drafting Jason Tatum and drafting Markelle Fultz. I mean, even Lonzo Ball was better than Markelle Fultz. At least he could play.
It's true. Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, I mean that's
Got out of college, but he just simply bad luck and terrible shooting. Almost worse than Lonzo Ball shooting. Like, holy cow.
Philly should fire him and rehire Hinkie. Is what they should do.
Oh gosh, no! You do not want to rehire Hinkie. NBA had to force their hand in when Sam Hinkie was the manager. That's not a good sign.
It worked out for him in the end.
I guess so. But
stockpile draft picks.
I guess on the terms of the NBA, we will do a little NBA Finals preview right now.
Well, first, we got a couple more things.
We do.
The Stanley Cup. We haven't talked about that yet.
Well, we're still on topic of the NBA. Let's just get it over with right now, shall we? Or do you want to wait till the end?
Let's push it to the end.
All right. Okay, NHL playoffs. Let's Las Vegas versus Washington. The new team versus will Alexander Ovechkin finally get that cup? Well, we did see for first game 2 nights ago. Game 1 was in Las Vegas. Las Vegas won, I believe, 6-4. That is the score. Very, very high scoring game. Obviously, these two teams want to win, and they're. I don't think there'll be much defense played. This is going to be all out. Shoot. We're going to get all the lucky bounces we can. We can get all the breakaways. We're going to take advantage of every single power play. This is going to be a goal-scoring fest. It's going to be crazy, I hope. But here's a really cool fact you probably did not know. Did you know that 44% of Las Vegas people tuned into this game?
44%?
Of the whole city, Las Vegas.
And it was the same night as Game 7. Of Houston and Golden State too.
Not counting the bars or anything. Not counting watch parties.
Yeah.
44% of literally their TVs were tuned into this game. I think that deserves credibility, does it not?
That's great for Las Vegas. That's this sport. That's gonna be that'll be huge for them, like with the Raiders, coming too. They have a sign that, oh, look, we have a fan base.
We have people who are going to watch this team.
Yeah, so I think that'll be good news for the Raiders who are moving there. That's it's really good for Las Vegas, I guess, that they have this team. I'm still going to be a bitter Wild fan about it.
We're all going to be bitter Wild fans because now we're literally dead last in Western Conference any playoff success for the past 20 years. We're always going to be bitter Wild fans. This is just how it's going to be. But I think some keys we got to take away from this series is can this Las Vegas team just keep it up? I mean, this is
bizarre. They have so far.
Will this be one of the best stories in United States sports of all time? Will this go down as like up there?
It could. It definitely could.
Remember that brand new team just freaking won it? Expansion
team won it first year. That would be huge. That would be a story
of the
year?
That would
be a timeless story.
Story of the year. Okay.
And did you read this one? $20 bets placed on the Golden Knights.
I did.
Will be paid out in $10,000 if they win.
That's correct. And casinos right now are looking through that book, calling anyone, saying right now we'll give you half right now if you turn in your tickets right now. That's 500. Why would you put 500 to 1? I mean, this isn't no college team playing. These are professional players.
Yeah.
500 to 1. What are you thinking? That's kind of. I'm gonna go to. This happened 2 years ago in the English Soccer League. A team was 5,000 to 1, and guess what? They won. And people were putting these joke because this team was supposed to go down and be last place. Everyone threw these joke $5 bets, $25,000. Right there.
Wouldn't that be something?
Literally 2 weeks after that happened, they had to immediately change it to like 1 to 500. It's still super low, but they still won the whole freaking thing. Leicester City, crazy story. If you ever look up. But anyways, 500 to 1 for a professional hockey team. Are you nuts? In baseball, the worst they will go is 250 to 1. That's the Miami Marlins right now. God knows they'll never have a chance. It's sold away the whole franchise. But anyways. Even in NFL football, the worst you'll ever see is probably 100 to 150 to 1.
And that's the Cleveland Browns.
That's the Cleveland Browns every single year. You'll never see 500 to 1.
Yeah, that's some.
I mean, what? Is Vegas literally giving money back to their own people?
Maybe so. Maybe that's what they're going for. You got to be smiling if you made that bet, though, way back then.
I should have put at least $1 down. How crazy that'd be right now.
Be pretty crazy. But, I don't know. You got some predictions for the Stanley Cup here?
I'll have predictions at the end of the show. But
at the end of the show? All right.
At the end of the show, I have a pretty nice hot take coming up. But anyways.
Right. I'm going to make my prediction right now, though,
for the
Stanley Cup. I predicted it a while back, and I'm gonna stick with it. Ovi's going to win.
Okay. All right. So they are down 1-0 right now, just for context. We are doing this when they are down 1-0.
Yeah, we weren't able to get this beforehand, unfortunately, but we did make it before the NBA Finals, so that's what we're going for.
All right, yeah, let's go right into that.
Oh, we had one more thing first. The new NFL Anthem rules.
That is correct. We do want to briefly cover this. So it was there's all these rumors about did the owners know, did the owners not know about this whole anthem rule. There were a bunch. I saw the day before this posted a bunch of little ideas for this rule. Does everyone stand? Does no one go out? What do you do? Because the anthem has to be played no matter what. That's just what American sports do. That's what we're all about. So the new policy that did come out, if none of you don't know, but you should know by now, is that when the anthem is played, you must stand. You must stand. You can't, no kneeling, no sitting down, but you have the option to stay in the locker room during this national anthem, which I find no problem with.
The penalty for kneeling or sitting, it was like a 15-yard penalty,
15-yard fines.
15-yard fines.
Depends on what you do, how excessive. Some people of some football organizations, some presidents, CEOs, I don't know about any owners yet, but they are saying that they will pay the fines of people who do go out and protest, essentially. Which I think isn't this the perfect fix to people who either don't want to be out there for the anthem. I know people who don't even want to be out there. And then there's some people who, want... These people just want attention at the end of the day.
Here's what I think what it is I don't think this is a good fix, to be honest.
Do you think it's better than what it was last year? Is this going to make it worse, or is it going to make more people protest?
I think it's going to make it worse, to be honest. They give them the option to stay in the locker room, but that's not... The whole idea of the anthem protest is that the NFL doesn't really give a lot of their players a voice like the NBA does. The NBA lets players speak out on all kinds of issues and, say basically what they believe.
Do you see anyone protesting the flag in the NBA?
Exactly. That's because they have a better platform to speak what they believe in, and they don't feel like
referees. Then you're gonna get fined. Just saying. Just saying. All right, carry on.
And they don't feel like the NBA with the NBA like it's like they're trying to it's not like the NBA is trying to shut any players up. Where the NFL has more of that perception where it's like, oh, we don't like what you're saying, we want to shut you up, and they feel like that's their only platform to really, demonstrate what they're feeling, what they're thinking. And I think just adding rules to say no, you can't. There's going to be penalties and fines. That's only gonna hurt the NFL more, because now the players are gonna have this worse perception of what the NFL is trying to do, and really it falls back on Roger Goodell. He's just really done a poor job with the NFL these last couple of years. He's done the main thing, and has had ratings go up and has made more money, but he's making lots of mistakes here. Not last year. Now it's going worse and worse, and this huge extension that he got, I think it's going to be a big mistake.
Do you think Jerry Jones was right to try to block that?
I was always all for that, with Jerry Jones trying to block it. I mean, that's a power move too, because Jerry Jones he's the most powerful owner. He wants to have who he wants in power.
Jerry Jones, though. They basically left him to dry and get ridiculed by everyone.
Well, that's the thing, is the rest of the owners like having the idea of a Roger Goodell there, because he can take all the blame. The way the owners control what he does for the most part, but he gets to take all the blame for it. The owners are integral in these new anthem rules. They're making these rules, but Roger Goodell is the one who has to finalize it all, and so he gets all the blame. But they need to just find a better way to give a better platform. They control what kind of cleats they wear and all this nonsense. You need to kind of change you need to give these players a better platform to speak for what they believe in, like the NBA does, and that's why the NBA doesn't have any problems with this.
It's true. Okay, so let's put in some perspectives here to why Roger Goodell made this decision. So we obviously saw decline in viewership, a little decline in attendance, to be fair. There was. Decline in revenue. People don't want to say this is one of the reasons, but it's simply because people were protesting. It's true. There are other reasons too. 3 hours. People don't want to invest 3 hours in their day to go watch a football game. People don't want to pay $200 just to go sit at AT&T Stadium. But at the end of the day, you gotta know. NFL has to know who they are specifically targeting. Who do you think they're not gonna go can target college educated crazy. No. They're gonna target the people who are 9 to 5, hard-working labor jobs every single week. some of those people, that's their 3 hours of freedom. They're working with their hands all day. People in the Midwest, they're just working hard. They're not here to pander to people who are in college. They're not here to pander to, liberals. At the end of the day, they're pandering to those diehard conservatives who just love football, who love that 3 hours a day where they can just not do anything with their families watching America's pastime, football. And at the end of the day, NFL has to realize, okay, well, how are we going to help grow or even maintain their main source of revenue, viewership? And that's trying to fix this rule. Trying to make sure, you don't have to pay attention to all this kneeling stuff. You can just watch football. Football without politics. That's what the NFL is trying to do. Is it going to work? I guess we're just going to have to find out this season.
I'd say no. It's not going to work.
You say no. Okay, that's fine. But we might even see an increase in certain protester antics.
I'm gonna expect increase in protests.
We ain't gonna expect anyone for the Vikings to do it, though. You know that damn well. You're not gonna expect people who are not players, coaches. You know that. People who just those coaches stick to football will not allow it, and you know that for a fact.
With the Vikings, it wasn't at all Zimmer who controlled that.
No.
What happened with the Vikings was when initially when those comments Trump made were out there.
That is correct.
Terrence Newman took the lead in the locker room saying, what do we want to do about this? And they decided not to kneel, not to sit for the anthem, and that was a player's decision.
Yep.
So it's kind of depends on what kind of locker room you have, and there are people who are more political, and they're gonna want to take a stand for what they believe in, and I think they should have a right to do that, and I guess the NFL's got a right to make whatever rules they want to make too. So.
I just love the quote from Stefon Diggs when asked about this. He basically said, "I'm here for business, not for what I feel." It's just amazing to see. He might even disagree with this, but he basically said that's fine. What I do on the football field is for business. He's not out there to go make himself out there. Making it all about him. He's making it about this organization. God, I really hope we extend him. That'd be that made me want to extend him right on the spot with that quote.
Yeah, throw that in more. Stefon Diggs needs an extension immediately.
Oof.
He's the next Viking who needs an extension.
Oof. Yep.
Like he needs to be signed. We need to get that taken care of.
Yep. So at the end of the day, this was changed. A lot of outcry from not. I just don't like the people who are outcrying who don't even watch football. Are we being serious here? Really?
Yeah,
you don't watch football.
If you don't watch football, what difference does it make to you?
Yeah, really?
That's a good point.
People who just want to, hop on the bandwagon and be like, "Oh, you're oppressing the players." If you aren't really watching football, why do you have an interest? Obviously, everyone should have an interest in free speech. Yes, but at the end of the day, are you paying money to watch these games? Are you investing your time to watch these games? No. NFL is making it better for the people who do invest their time in these games, who do pay for the money to see these players. It's that simple at the end of it. Any final thoughts on the NFL protests?
I don't think so.
I think I covered it all.
Yeah,
all right.
That's about all there is to it. Now for the NBA Finals.
This is gonna get. All right, but you know what? Let's even start before the NBA Finals. There's this big. Let's go Eastern Conference Finals. LeBron James versus the Celtics. That's what everyone's calling this. But I think it's so bizarre that right after LeBron beat the Celtics, everyone suddenly said, "Oh, best player of all time." I just kept hearing that. I kept people hearing LeBron is now on the level or just past Michael Jordan. And personally, I don't see it. I think Steph Curry put it perfectly when he was asked about this. I'm not even a big Steph Curry guy. All right, he's a good player. That's all I think about him. And they asked him after the game, "So what do you think about LeBron beating the Celtics?" He basically said, "No, that's not true. LeBron had to have 4 other people out there who are at least good at basketball. Who are professionals. They're professionals for a reason. They're not just college kids in LeBron, or he would lose. These are professionals who are there to. They might play a supporting role. That's true. But at the end of the day, LeBron did not do this alone." And he did this against a very injury-riddled Celtics team. What if Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward were on the team? You'd see probably a 4-1, 4-2 victory for Boston. It's the truth, is it not? What are your thoughts on this? I know you're a big LeBron guy.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't like when people use a single game to say, "Oh, he's better now."
Because or series in a sense.
What happened? No, it's more even. It's what happens in the moment, because LeBron has 15 points in the first game, doesn't have a very good game. They lose to the Celtics, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's not as good as Michael." And then
national media.
Here we are, Game 7. LeBron has a terrific game once again, closes out the Celtics, goes to the finals for the 8th straight year. Everybody's like, he's the best player ever. There's too much of the switching.
Same people.
It is
the exact same people who said that too.
It is. There's just flipping back and forth and back and forth. Just stay consistent.
That's just what the national media does for clicks. That's what they will do. They will.
I've been consistent at saying I think LeBron is the greatest player ever.
I don't agree with your opinion, but I can agree that you are consistent. That's always good. I like consistency more. Then I just like people being consistent rather than wishy-washy. I don't care. I
agree.
I don't care if I don't like your opinion. I just want you to be consistent. That's all.
Yeah, and now going back to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
Kyrie. Obviously no Kyrie. Again, Gordon Hayward. Well, I guess we don't know what he would have been, but to me, I really am not. I don't think he's better than Jaylen Brown. I really don't. I don't think he's better than Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. I don't think so. I think those two. I think those two playing this year has been huge for the Celtics.
Gordon Hayward is a Western Conference All-Star for a reason. Get that right.
I think Gordon Hayward's going to be traded.
Yeah. See, he's still a good trade. He's a great player, but he is a trade asset. That is true.
The Celtics don't need him. They have two young players who are very good. They've obviously proved that what they can do in the playoffs this year.
I can agree.
And it's going to be Kyrie was missed. I will say that big time. But part of it too is you're right. There are 4 other guys out there with LeBron, but it's just that it's 4 other guys. It's not. Right. They're not making any significant difference on the game. J.R. Smith, I don't know how many. He made like 3 out of 99 threes that he took in that series. Well, it was unbelievably bad. Kyle Korver is at least consistent, where he'll knock down a couple threes a game, but he's giving you between 10 and 15 points, and that's what he can give you. He's not very mobile. He's not very athletic. He can't keep up on defense very well. J.R. Smith is a good defender, I'll give him that, but he didn't even have Kevin Love in that Game 7. And he's playing away in a really difficult place to play in the TD Bank Garden.
True.
So what LeBron was able to accomplish this year with really, it's a bad team. It is. It's a bad team.
I would not say it's a bad team.
It's a bad team.
That team could get a playoff spot.
Without LeBron?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
There's no way they'd be in the playoffs without LeBron. If you switch, I'm gonna go even further with that. You switch to LeBron and Kevin Durant, they lose first round to the Pacers.
Oof, that is definitely not true. But go on.
That's
true.
That is
not true. Go on.
LeBron has been able to.
Oh my God.
This is one of the like.
Okay, how about switch Anthony Davis and LeBron James? How would the Cavaliers fare?
They'd beat the Pacers, I'd say.
And then lose
to Toronto.
All right, go on.
They might be able to beat Toronto, but I feel like the reason the Cavs beat Toronto, honestly, is because they're scared of LeBron. Like they're not known to go all the way. It's just like they kind of cower in fear and roll over once they get to LeBron. But anyways, going back to it, like what he's been able to accomplish this year with really not a very good roster at all. It's like when he first took the Cavs to the finals. This is as impressive as that run where he's just carrying the team on his back all the way to the finals. 8th straight year in the finals. And people keep saying, "Oh, it's in the Eastern Conference." In the Eastern Conference.
Oh yeah, I say that too.
It's true. It is in the Eastern Conference, and it is weaker than the West. Nobody's denying that. But if you switch LeBron with any other All-Star player in the West, there's no other player.
To get that right.
There's no other player that could carry a team to the finals 8 straight years. Not Kevin Durant,
So
not Kawhi Leonard.
If you stick LeBron James on the Phoenix Suns, would they even make the playoffs?
Make the playoffs, sure. They won't get to the finals.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, if you put Kevin Durant on a team in the East and switch LeBron, he's not going to take a team to the finals
Durant,
8 straight years.
Oh
And he's the one everybody considers the second best player in the world. It's true. They would not go to the finals 8 straight years if it was Kevin Durant in the East
Down there in Miami,
and LeBron in the West.
Down there in Miami.
Down in Miami, Cleveland again.
Really?
They would not go to the finals 8 straight years.
Stop.
Do you think Durant would be able to get to the finals 8 straight years if he were in the East?
6 out of the 8, yes.
6 out of the
I
8.
can firmly
But not 8 straight.
No, the Eastern Conference is so weak.
But what I'm saying is, even if he could get to the finals a couple of those times, he's not getting there as many times as LeBron is. LeBron is just head and shoulders above everybody else.
It's sad. Eastern Conference is sad.
And the Eastern Conference is bad. And then
We're
had...
going to go all the way back to that Klay Thompson comment and say, you know what, he is... I was not very sure about that comment about 30 minutes ago, but I do know for sure he is 100% right.
Yeah, the East does need to get better.
He is now 100% right.
Because this year especially, this was the year, to beat LeBron. Because he had a bad roster.
If Boston was healthy, they would have done it.
He was saying that for sure?
Yes, I'm 100% saying that for sure. Are you kidding me? Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving? What?
Yeah, Kyrie's back. They probably win.
What?
They probably
Even
win.
Gordon Hayward, a former Western Conference All-Star. You keep forgetting that. You must be going right by your head. You absolutely keep forgetting. Leading the Jazz to the playoffs multiple times. You must keep forgetting about that.
The Jazz made the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
They replaced him with somebody who's already better. He's Gordon Hayward.
Ricky Rubio?
Huh? Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's already better than Gordon Hayward.
No, hell no. Oh my God, no. You're gonna get proven so wrong next year when he comes back in place. But please continue.
Well, anyways, let's go to the Western Conference Finals. We actually this was a good series, actually against the Warriors, and Houston put up a good fight, but
it's live or die by the 3, and Houston
27 in a row.
They died by the 3, all right. Oh my goodness. Now this brings up for a smaller conversation: is the 3-ball becoming a little more risky than it is safe to play? Because all these teams are starting to go out to the arc more and shoot. But 27 missed threes in a row from arguably the team that should be the second or third best team that should be making all those threes. Really? 27 missed in a row?
I don't know. I don't like the way the NBA's kind of
at home.
Changed. Yeah. That's pretty bad.
Over half of them uncontested, probably. Huh? 27. Just put that into perspective.
See, I didn't get the opportunity to watch that game, but who was shooting the majority of them? James Harden. Chokes.
Oof. All right.
He does choke. Is
it a bad thing if I say James Harden's a bit overrated?
No, it's not bad at all. I'm 100% on that.
Can I say that? Because
I'm 100% on that with you.
He barely tries on defense. Look it up on YouTube. There's compilations of him playing zero help or just completely forgetting where his guy is.
You saw that cross when he got crossed over by Livingston.
To be fair, he's good driving now. He's very good at driving, very good at shooting threes. But other than that,
he's a really good offensive player.
Good scorer,
yeah. Me and Blaine were kind of talking a while back about how a lot of the argument used against LeBron is that he couldn't have played back in the Jordan era when it was more physical and you had. And I always say that's ridiculous because LeBron could most certainly play in a more physical era. He's 6'8", 260 pounds. It's ridiculous.
Just hard to compare nowadays.
But I did mention James Harden is a player who couldn't make it back then.
No,
not at all.
Because on the bench.
You talk about all these threes he shoots. The way they wouldn't call these fouls that they do. He gets so many foul calls. People think LeBron gets a lot of calls. LeBron gets calls when he's driving to the basket and gets somebody to just towering over him and knocks him on the ground. James Harden gets a little flick on the wrist and then it's a foul and every time.
NBA has to be more consistent with the refereeing. We even saw it versus the Warriors and Rockets game. People make compilations. There's terrible calls on both sides for specific players. It's ridiculous. Come on, you need to flat out kind of like NFL. A catch is a catch. NBA should be a foul is a foul. You have 3 to 4 referees out there for a reason. You got to get
Yeah,
every
they
single
are
angle.
very inconsistent with the foul
People
calls.
from halfway across the court shouldn't be calling fouls. That's obvious. If
Yeah.
you're right there, to foul or not,
Yeah.
decide for yourself.
Yeah, and
Oh.
James Harden, he gets so many foul calls, and that's part of why when you shoot 20 free throws a game, it's easy to score. You know, the 30-some points he scores because he's shooting 20 free throws a game.
He's shooting quite a bit of free throws. Yeah,
And
not 20.
I'm with you. I think James Harden's overrated. He
Not okay. He's not overrated. I just don't see him on that like top 5, maybe bottom of top 10 caliber. I just don't think he's a top 5 player in the NBA right now.
he does
That's
he doesn't deserve the MVP. Can we get that out of the way too? He should not be the MVP this year.
It should be LeBron James.
It should be LeBron.
It should be, but it won't be. Get that through your head right now. It won't be.
Because
the Rockets were a number 1 seed, and he put up a lot of points. That's basically it.
well, I
That's
mean,
it.
Chris Paul, he's not even the best player on that team.
Chris Paul?
Chris Paul is a better player than James Harden.
I don't think no. I wouldn't go that far. He's a good player.
Chris Paul's a better defender.
Better defender.
Moves
But
the ball around better. Although James Harden does move the ball around, I'll
James
give him
Harden got
that.
some pretty good plays. Clint Capella in that game 7 I saw.
But I don't know. I think
I'd
Chris
still-
Paul's.
I'd
I think
still
Chris
have
Paul's a
James
better
Harden.
player than
I'd
James
pick,
Harden.
I'd pick James Harden on my team over Chris Paul. Right now?
Well, because he's younger. I
course,
give you that.
Exactly.
I give you
That's
that.
the
He's
reason
younger.
why. Oh.
He's younger, but I think right now, this last year, Chris Paul, I think, was a better player than James Harden. But
James Harden's a better scorer.
Why he is a better scorer, but he does not deserve
More
the
points
MVP.
It's sad because nowadays in the NBA, we're going to pick the higher scorer than the better defensive player. It's true.
That is true, and yeah,
Three balls
he's a
become-
great scorer. Give him that. He's a
course.
phenomenal scorer. He's
one
one of the best.
Top 5 scorers.
Top 5 scorer, sure, yeah.
in the
He's a top
NBA.
5 scorer.
Yes.
He's just not a top 5
Oh.
player. And the Houston put up a fight. It really is disappointing that Chris Paul could not play in that game 7.
That really, I'm not gonna lie, it really didn't affect it that much. But yes, it was devastating that he couldn't play. I mean, let's face it, the Rockets got blown out 2 games, crushed 2 games in a row. Even with Chris Paul, it helped, but still, that was just
I would
a
have.
dominating performance.
It's disappointing because you get to that. It's a game 7. Chris Paul, it's his first Western Conference Finals. It's exciting to see what is he going to do in game 7. I mean, obviously Harden did not, step up and take over for him, but
I don't know if Kevin Love was out in the Cavaliers in game 7. That kind of affected a lot of things.
yeah, Kevin Love was out, and it doesn't matter. LeBron took over, and James Harden didn't. There's the proof for MVP right there. James Harden loses his next best player, they lose. LeBron loses his next best player, win anyway. MVP.
Yep.
But anyways, now it's the NBA Finals. Game 1 is tomorrow night.
I believe.
What are your thoughts, takeaways, picks for this game tomorrow night?
Thoughts? Everyone is literally everybody is already writing this off. I find that I don't find that too crazy, but we saw the Las Vegas Golden Knights go to the Stanley Cup. I mean, there's people have already flat out said 4-0. It's like I don't want to throw out that 4-0. I'm not going to throw out that 4-0 figure. It's very possible, but I think LeBron and the crew, the Cavaliers, without no Kevin Love though. For who knows how long.
Kevin Love. He can't be. He's not gonna be out again for a concussion.
It's all he would be. I believe that is the report.
I gotta look that up because that would be ridiculous if he's for a concussion is missing 2 games. Come on, that's way over. That can't be right. 2 games for a concussion.
I believe it is 1 more game.
Let's see.
Please look that up. But
I'm looking it up right
I'll
now.
do a few more takeaways here. This is a Warriors team that just beat the regular season champs in the Western Conference. So of course, we're going to see them firing all cylinders. Steph Curry's healthy. Kevin Durant's playing well. Draymond Green's playing all well. Klay Thompson will get back up there. He had a little rough patch versus the Rockets. A lot of foul trouble. Wasn't up there. But these 4 Warrior players are going to dominate the series. It's unfortunate, but they're going to dominate. What does this have entail for? This could be LeBron's last series in Cleveland. Let's get that out of the way right now. This could be. I still think he's gonna stay in Cleveland for next year, but who knows? What if LeBron just says, "Screw it, I'll take less money and let's go to Houston." Let's go somewhere else. Let's go to Minnesota.
We could. That would be the greatest ever.
That'll never happen. But that would be the greatest ever. This is probably going to be. No, I just don't think it will be LeBron's last series. I don't think they're gonna win, but I still think he's gonna stay. But obviously, I could be wrong. If he feels like taking a pay cut, he will not be staying in Cleveland. If he wants that super money, give me the biggest contract in the NBA, he will be staying at Cleveland. I don't see him going to a smaller team and taking all that money. It just won't happen. Bottom line is this: if the Warriors can live by the 3, this series is gonna be. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be abolishing. This is gonna be basically last year, but almost 2 times worse. LeBron just doesn't have the other stars around him to make another run for the NBA championship like he did 2 years ago. Bottom line is, the Warriors will win this series 4-1.
So repeat of last year exactly.
Yes, everyone thought, but the Warriors have simply just gotten better. But I still think LeBron and crew are gonna get a game. Don't get me wrong, they're gonna get a game at least. But then you got, people make these crazy bets like, who's that safety out of the Cleveland Browns who said
Demarius Randall.
Retweet and you get a free Cavs jersey. How many retweets has that got now?
I think it's got over 200,000. I'll check real quick.
See, what is that got? What are you doing? You better be getting those cheap little $5 jerseys. But, it's crazy. People are already betting 4-0.
878,000 retweets. If the Cleveland Cavaliers win the 2018 finals, I'll buy everyone who retweets this a jersey.
I don't want to say that's fake news, but how much is a typical jersey run for? What, $125? A good jersey?
I think $99.99, but
oh my gosh,
same thing. But 878,000 retweets. But did you see what's Joe Thomas tweet today?
What did he say?
Here, I'll pull it up quick. But
Joe Thomas had a terrible career.
Poor guy. He's stuck with the Browns his whole career.
He didn't have a terrible career, but
yeah,
he could have had a much better career somewhere else. But he loved it though. Whatever, that's what he wants to do. Wish he came to the Vikings.
All right, Joe Thomas tweets.
Go on.
I'm so confident in my Cavs. If the Warriors win the 2018 NBA Finals, I'll buy anyone who retweets this a signed Stephen Curry game-worn jersey, even you, Demarius Randall.
Okay, yeah.
191,000
really?
retweets on that.
Are you
and
really?
Then he said, and then he wore out after. He said, okay, it can be any signed game-worn NBA jersey. It doesn't have to be Warriors. So if
are you really? I bet you retweeted that.
I retweeted both of them.
Of course you did. You're falling for this. Really? It's
They're not gonna live up to. There's just no way they can. There's no way they can ship
maybe give
out
you like $1 coupon or something. But really, do you really think they're no?
Yeah.
It's just to get a little haha. They probably thought it was funny when they put it out at first.
Yeah, they're like, oh shoot, that was really too bad. Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna go viral.
Follow my Twitter.
No, Demarius Randall even was like, yeah, I didn't think that was gonna go viral.
Yeah, no, of course not. Joe Thomas is just doing it to be funny. So really. All right, but I'm gonna presume your prediction is gonna be for a hot take.
Yeah.
You ready to come up on that?
So I teased a hot take last week when we did a podcast. I said I had a hot take that I wasn't ready to make yet, but I'll be ready to make by next week.
All right.
And
let's hear it.
My hot take is that the Cleveland Cavaliers will win this year's NBA Finals.
Okay.
And that LeBron is going to just have a ridiculous finals. The supporting cast, J.R. Smith, Kyle Korver, George Hill, all these players are going to be knocking down open threes, which they haven't been doing in the playoffs.
Especially Korver. No, Korver's been ice cold.
They did it against Toronto. But they haven't done it against anybody else, and that's why those 2 series went 7 games versus the Toronto was a 4-0 sweep.
So is it going to go 7 versus Golden State?
It's going to go 7. Cavs will win in 7.
Okay. Cavs are going to win 7. How close is that last game going to be then? We're going to have another
down to the wire. It's going to go down to the wire.
I will say it right now. If the Cavaliers win this series, I will say LeBron James is the best player of all time. You heard it here. It's recorded. It's recording. I will say it. And I will mean it. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
This would be something.
No, if he does pull this off, I don't even want to hear an argument
They're-
about who the best player of
they'll-
all time is
They're
anymore.
gonna end up pulling the whole. But this isn't the '80s. This isn't the '90s.
Yeah,
this
like,
isn't the
shut
2000s.
This Warriors starting five might be the greatest starting five of all time. So to anybody who if LeBron pulls this off with him and Kevin
or
Love,
the Cavaliers pull this off.
if him and Kevin Love,
Okay, all right.
this off.
Give it a little Timberwolves love.
but man, that would be, and I'm calling it. It's gonna happen. LeBron is he's gonna find a way. He's gonna find a way. It keeps getting better and better. He's gonna find a way to knock off this Warriors team, win the finals.
They'd be 2-2 all time, so it looks like there's got to be somehow like a Series 5.
Series, you never know. Next year, when the Cavs draft Trae Young,
Ooh,
could happen.
All right, we're gonna move on from that. Yeah, we will do an NBA draft here pre-show pretty soon. We do have more people dropping in and out. Obviously, Jonte Porter, undeclared from the draft today. That was pretty huge. Big time story. Who could have gotten to, but then whatever. But now it's time for my hot take. I was going to do a series prediction for the NHL playoffs, but obviously I'm saving it for here. And I believe that the Las Vegas Golden Knights will win 4-1.
4-1. They're
4-1.
killing them.
They're going to kill them.
All right.
They're coming out on all cylinders here. Caps survived against the Lightning. Let's get that right. They had to win 6 and 7.
Yeah.
They survived. I think this Golden Knights team is going to... Golden Knights have lost 3 playoff games.
That's crazy.
Can you believe that? 3.
I did not think they were going to beat Winnipeg.
3 playoff games. They destroyed Winnipeg. They killed the Kings. They killed the Sharks. Every team's been going like, oh, we'll beat them. Give us the Golden Knights. We'll rough them up. Oh, let us play them. Beat, beat, beat. Oh.
It was definitely a mistake. Everybody's saying, oh, we want to play the Golden Knights.
Yeah, we want to play the Golden Knights. Oh, that's just a fluke. Let us play them.
Apparently not.
No, of course it wasn't. I mean, wow. But I do stand by my 4-1. Obviously, I love Alexander Ovechkin. Good guy. Very good player. Never had that Stanley Cup fame like Sidney Crosby has. Or Patrick Kane. It's just the poor Russian who is finally in his first Stanley Cup Finals, but too bad he's facing the hottest team the NHL has seen in years. It's unfortunate.
All right.
Do we have any closing statements from you at all?
I think that's it. Cavs are gonna win. Cavs are gonna win the finals.
Okay, well, that sums it up for me here. If you did enjoy this podcast, please listen to any other podcasts we got on our YouTube channel at Minasports. Of course, with the Purple Kool-Aid Man. Always trust in him. We got our Reddit page as well if you would like to join further our discussion or any topics you want to bring up on r-Minasports. Also, be on the lookout on our Twitter account on Minasports5. Thank you for listening. Tune in next week.